Hey, g'day, Michael. Look, we're here talking a bit about retail. So, to set the scene, if we can, a little bit about you. You grew up in retail.
Yeah.
Um, Many years. You were working in a shop before you joined Tower. Do you want to give us a bit of background on your retail experience?
So I started off just as a junior, 14, working the afternoon shifts. And as I became an adult, I started working there full time. Um, Not really a manager, but, the front counter became my responsibility. So every client interaction would start and end with me with greeting them at the front door and them being served and leaving the business. And, if they wanted a special order or something like that, I'd handle it.
And how much do you think that that practical retail experience plays into the work that you can do from a Tower, customer training and support point of view?
Because I know what the experience is, I can relate that quite easily to any business. Anyone who interacts with a customer, how does the workflow look? If you need to do stuff right then and there, or if you need to do it later, just, I can make that work. And I understand what people go through every day in their business.
Yep. One of the things that you do here, I think it's kind of what most of your day is spent on, is training new customers. And so when you first connect with a new customer, how many of those people are kind of nervous about what they're about to get into?
Generally about 80% of them. There's about 20% that have been through this sort of thing before and are excited for it, so they're really good and really engaged. But most are nervous because it's like anything that's new. It's different. It's not the same as what you've used before, but it's still POS software at the end of the day, so it'll achieve what you need.
So how do you, um, I guess, calm them and give them confidence that your time with them is going to be uh,
Effective.
well effective, but also something that they're going to enjoy rather than being nervous about?
Well, with every install that I do, I break it down to four objectives. That's my first goal, and it's simply from doing a sale to receiving and creating stock, an end of shift and backing up. That's just the first objectives, and they're the bare basics that any business needs to do: sell stock, receive it to manage it, and end of shift to balance your till, and
Okay.
end of shift back up. So, yeah, it's just this calm. Uh, there's a word, structured approach to objectives. Um, and then if you've got something that I haven't covered, such as special discounting requirements for customers with profiles, we'll throw that in. But it's structured, it's
Mhm.
calm, it's not all over the place.
There are some point of sale software companies that um, expect people to learn the software just by themselves without someone like you training them.
Mm.
What do you think about that situation?
Uh, I believe it leads to less success. And with a guided introduction and step by step of how to do things with someone who knows exactly how to use it rather than you guessing how to do something by yourself, it's better. And everyone enjoys a human connection to learning something brand new.
And so when you're training somebody, you would train them um, over several sessions.
Yes.
And are you checking in to see if they're kind of retaining what you're giving them?
Every so for example, with the second session, in the first session we've definitely covered a bit of point of sale. In the second session we'll be recovering that to make sure you've picked up on the good and the little things.
And how
So
are how are you leaving them with something that they can refer to once they've done the training?
uh,
What resources are you leaving them with?
straight away the onboarding video knowledge base, which is my little baby. I've made all the videos on the website. So if you're stuck on how to move a button or set up a point of sale screen button, there's a video that's about 9 minutes long, and halfway through it teaches you how to move a button after explaining it all. So yeah, you've got that, and if there's not that, you've got the knowledge base, and you've got the chat bot to ask questions. And if they aren't answering, or you want to speak to a person, you can get on the phone and call the support team.
Yep. And uh, when you hand them over to the support team, you're providing kind of notes on what you've covered, so people have got a reference point from the help desk perspective.
Yep, our install team sees everything that I've done. So at the end of everyone's session, I write notes about what I have covered. So they can open it up and they'll see, has he covered customer statements? They'll be
Mhm.
able to read it and go, nope, he hasn't said the word customer statements. I'll assume it's not covered. So if the customer says, what do I do about customer statements? It's best that they could go learn by themselves. There's a video on it as well. But if they're not sure, the support team is definitely going to help them because they can see it hasn't been covered.
Okay. All
Or
right.
I'll plan that as a part of their go live training and say, right, I know you're going to do your first statements at the end of the month. Let's book a session for that.
You mentioned go live training. What's go live training?
Or go live training is basically for most businesses, they don't generally start using the software on day one when they're learning. They generally put into day 3 or day 2 go live, which is where we bring across your balances from your old system. If you've got account customers, your stock on hand will get your data again. If we're doing data conversion, get your stock on hand figures and put them in.
Yep.
And then you start using the software with all of your accurate numbers based on the last day of trade in your last system.
All right. Thank you very much.
Cool.